so proudly we hail, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the path.
Welcome, folks, to the Freedom Network. I'm Gary, your host, right here to talk some politics with you. I think we can effectively aggravate everybody in one night, right? That seems to work out. Welcome to the Freedom Network, folks. This is where you can talk politics, speak your mind, say what you want. That's what I do. I just say what I want, and I encourage you to do the same. You can take advantage right here, 266-0990 in the 508 area code. timorgary@gmail.com gets you right on in. Don't have the computer with me today, but I do have the connection to the web via the phone. It's amazing what you can do nowadays. Any question you want answered, you can find the answer to. You might be talking about something crazy like, who knows, I don't know, a star in the sky, anything, you name it, you can go on the web and you can just find out what it is. It's quite amazing. I think that we may have the Valley Pub listening in tonight. They're out there. I think they've got us out there on TV land. Great place to go. I'll admit that I've been there for $1 draft. It's a hell of a price, you know. I'm cheap. Sure I am. Why not? Who isn't? But welcome out there to all you out there in Valley Pub land and other places that you're listening. I know that I hear a word that we might have Wisconsin on tonight as well. Wisconsin might be out there giving a listen to us in some other places as well. Of course, right here locally. And what's important to your opinion, so email them in, call them in, whatever it may be. Jim Barnacle, I believe, will be here with us this evening. I won't fire till I see the whites of his eyes, but I do believe that we will see him tonight so we can get his opinion on some of these political things that are going on. Always fun to have somebody in studio. Anyway, sorry about the gap in shows, folks. It's a busy life, isn't it? It really is and truly is a busy life. We will try to be here as often as possible throughout the summer. Don't you worry about it. We'll talk politics with you, get local opinions and national opinions right on out there as we do each and every week that we're here. A few emails did come in that I've been reading over the past few weeks, just spot on a couple of them. The emails that we used to go over all the time have become too many, which is a good problem to have. There's just too many to go over all of them, so I always reply. You'll get an answer from me on every single email. We're 100% current right now. Some great debates on those emails. Some great debates on Facebook as well. You're more than welcome to join our group there. Just send me an email. I'll get you a link. And to be quite honest with you, all over Facebook. I debate politics all the time on Facebook. And to be honest with you, I have a really good time doing it. Some people get very upset. You know, people get very upset about politics, and the reason I get upset sometimes as well. The thing is that to me, and we'll get into this a little bit, but to me with politics, you know, it's just an issue by issue game. It has nothing to do with the party. I honestly and truly have come to a point in my life that not only do I not give a you know what about parties, but I think, to be honest with you, they are really the destruction of the government system that we have. And this has been going on for some time. But the parties now, 2017, are so strong that they really do control what goes on. They control how votes go. They control all kinds of things. I mean, don't forget, we had canceled voting. We have super delegates. We have both sides playing games, trying to get certain people in and work around what the people may actually want. And to me, that's just disgusting. So I have no party affiliation. I'm an island of one, and I'm okay with that. Sometimes people agree with me on issues, and sometimes they don't, and that's okay. But I'm not a cookie cutter anything. I'm a cookie cutter American who believes in the Constitution and the freedoms that it ensures. It doesn't provide them because these freedoms are granted to you at birth. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. You should be free. Mankind should be free. We shouldn't be ruled over. The Constitution in this country gives us a little bit of backing on that. It's too bad that it has been so bastardized throughout the years here in the United States that we hardly even live under the Constitution as it was written. Interesting stuff. Anyway, someone emailed in, did Alan Waters really switch to the Democrat Party? Why did he do this? Well, I'll tell you what, he did. He was on the program a couple of weeks ago talking about it. He did. He is a what he likes to call and self-described blue dog Democrat. He's a conservative guy, folks, let's face it. He is probably the opposite of Elizabeth Warren in pretty much every aspect. I don't know, maybe there's a wee bit of overlap there, but I don't think I've seen any. He's trying to get right to her. He's trying to take her on. I'd urge you to take a look at him. You know, if you're an unenrolled voter, if you're a Democrat that's out there, I know we have some Democrats out there, and I know we have some conservative Democrats that do email in. I take a look at the guy. You know, Elizabeth Warren has no right to her seat. She has no predisposed this is my seat. And to be honest with you, she is, how can I say this nicely? One of the disgusting politicians out there, I guess is one of the best ways I can say it. She's just awful. She's a complete socialist, and this is not a socialist country. So you know what I always say to socialists, because you know where socialism leads, and you also know socialism's cousin, communism, is never lurking far behind. To all the socialists that are out there in our government right now, you're a perfect example of what our founders said. Maybe you'll send me an email. Maybe I'll find a little prize that I can send to somebody. What one of our founders said, that if America was to fall, it would fall because fall from within, not that it would be attacked from the outside. I don't know the exact quote, but you can send me the exact quote, and I'll find a way to send you something. Another one said, Gary, what's your take on all this Trump bashing? Well, you know, we'll talk about Trump a little bit tonight. Here's how I feel about it. Each issue, as I always say, stands on its own. They do. Trump is bashed just relentlessly. He's relentless. There goes my chair again. Relentless. I mean, this guy is attacked relentlessly in the media, personally, more so than I've ever seen. So I think that the attacks on him are a little bit telling. But this is what we always knew. This is what the media is. The media is not some, you know, just neutral party. The media in this country is an active player inside of politics. That's what the media is. They are giving you stories as they want you to hear them. Not one network, not one, and that includes Fox, not one network is really impartial. They all have an agenda. And that's why I often say there is no media in America. There is none. It doesn't exist. You might as well be in a communist country here, because you have controlled information that's coming your way. It's disgusting. It's awful, but it's reality. And, you know, people want to be, you know, all about Fox. These guys want to be all about CNN. And all that is, to me, is Republicans, Democrats, party BS. That's all it is. It's nothing more. That's all it is. You know, I may like some of the stories more on Fox or be more friendly toward the way I think politically, but I'm not looking for that in a media or in a news outlet. I'm just looking for the facts, and they're not provided to you. This one says, Gary, can you do a list again on the issues? I love when you do that because you are so not the mold that we see today. Could you do it on your next show? And I would say that yes, I can. Yeah, I can do it right on my next show. That'll be this show. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's the exact quote. America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. Who said that? Call in and tell me who said that. Email me and tell me who said. Don't Google it. If you don't know it, that's okay. But if you do know it, let me know. Anyway, the issues. Love talking about the issues. I love talking about the issues. Oh, wait a minute. I have to tell you something. Before I go any further, I've got something local that I want to talk to you about real quick. I know there's a lot of local stuff. Isn't there a lawsuit that I've seen on Facebook on the on Elizabeth's page that there's someone suing someone? I don't know enough about it, so it's going to be a little difficult for me to really discuss it. But if somebody locally wants to discuss it, you're certainly more than welcome to call. All right, this one comes from Yvette. A lot of you know Yvette, and she is one of the people that likes to go and she's a real community kind of person. She's a wonderful, nice woman. I've met her a couple of times and talked to her, of course, on Facebook 150 million times, and she's local to us here. She does a lot of great things for the community. And she had sent me a message asking me if I would ask what streets might need cleaning up on Saturday. What she does, and she's just a wonderful person, she goes out and gets friends together and they go out and they clean litter off of places where it's just dirty, where it's and she sent me a message asking for any suggestions on what streets that may need to be cleaned that have a lot of litter on them. And also, she's going to make some arrangements for cleaning this stuff up. Would I be able to ask my viewers? She could use some volunteers as well. So if you know somewhere, and better yet, if you can go over and help her out, that would be great. Send me an email and I'll get you and her connected. Very simple, just like that. Like I always say, folks, we broadcast right here out of Northbridge, Massachusetts, in this wonderful facility that is fantastic. You know, it's a great facility here that they have. It really is a very, very professional studio with a staff of people that couldn't be any better. And we like to know what's going on and spread the local news and information. If there's anything that you ever want to get on, you just email me, timorgary@gmail.com. Boom, it's out there, it's done. If you know me on Facebook, you can certainly send me a message. If you know me more personally than Facebook, give me a call. And if you don't know me at all, pick up the phone and call that number right there. I'm looking at it on a TV that's right there. Just pick it up and call, and you certainly can get any of your local news right on out there. Always welcome. Got a couple of emails that have come in. Oh, very good. So I guess we do have some far-reaching listeners tonight. The Cadillac Man is in the house. Cadillac Man is many, many, many miles away from here. And I thank you for being out there, man. I do. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I can do the issues. I can get into the issues for you. The boxes that anyone wants me to fit in, though, you have to understand, I'm not going to fit. I'm not going to fit in any box you want. I'm in my own box. I'm a box of all by myself. I just look at it issue by issue. I just take it as it comes, issue by issue. How do I feel about it? I don't really care how the guy I voted for feels about it. I don't really care if I voted for John Smith and John Smith makes a mistake. I'm going to say, John Smith, you made a mistake. It's irrelevant to me. I don't have this worship that I find so many people have. They have it for Obama. They have it for Trump. They have it for Clinton. They have it for... It's like they worship the ground these people walk on. Like, you can't talk anything against these people. You can't say anything bad about Obama, or you can't say anything bad about Trump. It's like they get personally offended. Well, so what? You know what I mean? I call them like I see them. I really don't care about that. Politics is politics, folks. That's what it is. All right, you want my list? I'll give you the list. You want the list? I'll give you the list. Because to be honest with you, I think that these things that I've tried to get together are some of the more pressing issues. But I'd love to hear from you as well, and let me know if there's anything that I left off of my list. And we can certainly dive into any of these topics. But I don't know. You think that parties aren't the worst thing for us? Do you think that being blindly faithful to a person because of their party, or better yet, just being just a party hack, like, I'm going to do everything I can to make this party as strong as I can, you think that's good? Okay, maybe you just said yes. Look around you. Look at America. How do you like it? It ain't working. It ain't working. Democrats and Republicans, it ain't working. You want me to tell you why? At the end of the day, I'll tell you why. You're both on the same side of the same, different sides, I'm sorry, of the same coin. Same coin. It's the same coin. Neither one of you stopped the endless wars. Neither one of you have really provided any tax relief. Neither one of you have shrunk any the government really in any meaningful way. Neither one of you have ever had any real hardcore constitutionalists right on beside you. For crying out loud, Trump's the best negotiator in the world and he can get anything done, but he can't get a guy like Gowdy in his administration. He can't get Rand Paul in his administration. I don't even know how many more of the only constitutionalists that are in there. There is a Democrat, I misspeak, and I can't think of his name right now, that's an ardent constitutionalist. I would vote for him if he was around. I'm also going to vote for Alan Waters, so he'll be a Democrat I vote for. It'll be the first time that I found a Democrat that I could vote for. What do you want from me? This is the way it is. You don't like it? Call in. You can yell at me. You can disagree with me. I don't care. That stuff doesn't scare me. And at the end of the show, I'm still your friend because you know what? I don't take it personally. You are entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. The difference is that if your opinion is based on a letter next to somebody's name, to me, just kind of lessens the impact of it. And I don't like apologists either. I find myself all over Facebook defending Donald Trump. I don't even know if I like Donald Trump's presidency yet. I'm not going to be one of these people that's going to say he's the best thing ever or he's the worst thing in the world. I don't know yet. Guy's been in there for how long? And you want me to make a real judgment call? I think he's made some stupid mistakes. We'll talk about a few of them tonight. And I think he's made some great decisions. So, whatever. It's too early for me to tell you yet. I'm happy as you know what that Hillary's not the president of the United States right now. That I can tell you for darn sure. But we'll see what it is. So anyway, here's where I am on some big issues of the day. Chime in with your opinions. Of course, you know that's always welcome. And bring up any topic that you may want to discuss. There's a lot of topics out there, folks, and that's fine. And I know a lot of people like to sit back and listen. And if that's the case, sit back and enjoy. All right. Where are we going to start? I have a list here, folks. It's a page and a half long. We can start anyway. Hang on. If Barnacle shows up, then we'll get his opinion on some of these as well. All right, let's start with taxes. Don't you want to start with taxes? Let's just start with taxes, right? This could take me the entire show, but I'll try to go through it. They're too high across the board. That's right. That's absolutely right. I mean, when you look up the actual statistics from the IRS and from the government, in which we all are serfs to, I guess, when you look at taxes, they're too high across the board. The very rich, the very poor, everybody pays too much. There's too much taxation in your life. You know, think about what you really pay the government in taxes and fees, etc. Ever ask somebody what they make? You know that 4 out of 5 people, I read the other day, if you ask them what they make, will tell you their take-home pay. They don't even consider their gross their money. Do you consider your gross your money? Because it is your money. What you gross every week, you gross $500 a week, that's your money. The fact that you only wind up with $300, that's because your money has been taken from you, from the government, and they will do with it as they see fit. But that $500 is your money. And do you think it ends there? Do you really think it ends there? All right, this is what my notes were on taxes. This is what we're paying. All right, we're paying a state income tax, and we're also paying a federal income tax, right? Well, of course we are. Everybody knows that, don't they? So, I don't know what tax bracket you're in, and that's fine. I don't care to know, but you're definitely in a tax bracket. That's for darn sure. Let me get... this is Tom. Tom's emailing, and I don't know who made that statement. But Lincoln did say house divided cannot stand. Not exactly the same, but close. Tom, I'm going to give that to you because you mentioned his name. That is old Abe Lincoln said that. America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. How do you destroy yourself? Well, you know, you elect a bunch of socialists. That's how you could easily destroy yourself. Wake up, old Abe Lincoln. He would think that this country was attacked, taken over. Or maybe he would think that we faltered from the inside. Madison certainly would also think the same. Tom, great job. Great job, Tom. All right, we got that out of the way. Let me see what I got kicking around the old Freedom Network world, and we'll try to send Tom something. So you've got your income taxes, but then you've also got your... I want you to start adding up percentages of what you make, all right? You're all pretty smart people out there in Freedom Network land. I want you to take your gross. And as I read this list off, I want you to try to just jot down some notes or some mental notes and start to add up the money that you think that you may pay and see where it really adds up to. Because on top of your income tax, you've got property taxes. You've also got a meal tax. You may have a local meal tax. We do here in Northbridge. This is all money that comes out of your earnings, if you will. You're taxed on your phone. Yes, you are. And if you have a cell phone, you're taxed on that. You have a house phone, you're taxed on that. You have 2 or 3 phones, you're taxed on everyone. You are taxed on your water. You are taxed on your electricity. You pay a sales tax in a variety of different ways. You'll pay a tax if you buy an airline ticket. You'll pay a tax if you buy a train ticket. You pay taxes for fuel. You pay taxes and fees. See, fees are very sneaky. They like to sneak in fees and not call them taxes, right? They love to do that. So what's a building permit? That's a tax. I mean, you're going to pay capital gains taxes, taxes on cigarettes, taxes on booze, and soon to be on marijuana as well. Trash disposal fees you pay as well. You very well may pay that, especially some of you listening in different areas. How about for a dog license? You pay for that. How much do you think a dog license costs a town to make? I hope it's pennies. Driver's license and everything that comes along with it. You pay for that. Gun permits. You have to pay for that. You want to have a big protest. You're going to have to pay for that permit as well. There are mandated taxes for your employers, like insurance taxes that they have to pay. Employer pay Medicare taxes. They pay Social Security taxes and many, many more for businesses. Most of the taxes that you pay out of your paycheck, the people writing you your paycheck have to match those taxes, especially on the federal level. Did you know that? So let's say that you pay $100 in federal taxes a week. Your employer is matching most of those taxes. So it's costing them that much more just to employ you. And if they pay you more, this is what's great. If they pay you more, you pay more taxes. In turn, they pay more taxes. Hence, why you don't get big raises. Because it's not just what they give you, it's all the other fees and liabilities that come along with it. Environmental taxes, they can be found all over the place. There's estate taxes. There's excise taxes for your car. What do you possibly buy, except for your home, that you really don't own? You don't own your home. You think you own your home, but you don't own it. I'm sorry to say you really don't own it. And the reason you don't is because you rent that land that it's on from the government. You don't own the land. You have use of the land as long as you're current with your taxes. If you don't believe me, stop paying your taxes and see how much you really own your home. Don't pay your excise tax on your car and see if you can drive your car on your roads. You go to a hotel for the night, you'll pay a hotel tax. You want to go hunting? You want to go fishing? You'll pay for that. There are import taxes that you have to pay if you own a business, and if you buy things, you pay that tax as well. There are inheritance taxes, the death tax. You die, you've paid taxes on your money, you amass $50 million. You amass $50,000, doesn't matter. You leave that to somebody else, they pay taxes on it. How many times can you tax the same income? As often as they want. You pay for that license plate and a registration fee. You pay bus fees for schools. You pay Medicare and Social Security taxes out of your check. You pay at parking meters. You pay investment taxes. That was an Obama implemented 3.8 tax on investing. You pay passport fees. You have an RV or another recreational vehicle, you're going to pay taxes and fees for that as well. Sports tickets have taxes and fees attached to them. Tire recycling fees and many other automotive taxes. You will pay tolls, and now in Massachusetts and many other places, you just don't even have to stop. What they've done is this is what they've done. This is how much people are suckers. People are such suckers. They're thanking the government for putting out cameras so that they can watch and track everywhere they've been. They're thanking them for this because it's making it easier for me because I'm a slave and I have to pay my fair share, so I got to pay to use the roads. But don't I pay excise tax for the roads? Don't I pay gas tax for the roads? What are the tolls for? Come on. It's a bunch of you-know-what. Bunch of you-know-what. You pay utility taxes up to you-know-what. Zoning permits on taxes. I got more here. I could go on forever. There are so many fees and taxes that you pay in the United States of America. As I say, if James Madison woke up right now, he would say, wow, America's gone. He wouldn't even think that we even had the name of the country. It must be gone. I don't know. Every time you turn around, you just seem to be paying more and more taxes on more and more things. In reality, the truth is that you cannot make a move in the United States of America without paying some kind of tax. You just can't make it. You just can't do it. It's interesting. It's interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Anyway, we got emails coming in. Let's see where they're at. We'll see if we can get Barnacle in here. They want you on, Jim. All right. Here's another email. One time you had to pay a poll tax to vote. You pay a fee to hunt and fish. Yeah. To me, taxes and fees are the same thing, man. There is no difference. If the government is saying I must pay to do X, to me, that's a tax. That's just a tax. The word fee shouldn't even be in there. Shouldn't even be in there. It's a tax. You're telling me that I must pay the government to do X. That's what you're telling me. I don't know. Food has no sales tax, right? Wrong. Wrong. There's a lot of things that are imported. The company pays taxes that you buy your groceries from. You don't think that's built into the cost? Come on. How do you not? How do you not? Doesn't make any sense. That you would think that you wouldn't. You really think you go to Shaw's down the street and you buy yourself an item and there's no tax on the slip, that you didn't just pay some kind of tax? Of course you did. What do you think? That companies just print their own money? They're not the Federal Reserve. They got to pay taxes too. Where do you think they get that money? I don't know. You pay for every business tax that exists. There's not one bit. Everybody wants, oh, business has got to pay more taxes. Business has got to pay their fair share. Businesses. All these terrible, horrible people that own businesses and make money and they're rich and they have to pay their fair share and all this and that. You do realize that you pay all those taxes and all those fees that you want to impose on the business, don't you? You don't get that, do you, some of you? You just don't get it. You just don't get it. All right. So yeah, taxes, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting situation. I use the word disgusting when I talk about politics in the United States way too often. All right, how about abortion? I mean, I aggravate everybody when I talk about politics like this. I think that's why you guys like it so much, right? As a matter of fact, the emailer here thanking me for going through all this, no problem. He's a do not use my name, no problem at all. And he says, I love when you do this, even though you do aggravate me too sometimes. No problem, my friend. No problem. I'm here to aggravate everybody. That's what I'm here to do. Let's see what we got. Where was I? Abortion. Yes, well, I hope that people would choose life. I'm pro-choice. To me, it's a woman's body. I don't support partial birth abortions. I don't like harvesting the unborn for parts. I don't like late-term abortions. But I'm not going to go on this pro-life crusade, and that I'm not going to do. I think it's a woman's body, and I think that the woman ultimately has to be able to make that choice if it's something that she wants to do. It's my opinion. You don't like it? That's okay. You're entitled to yours as well. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I don't support our endless wars. I don't support them at all. I mean, who really believes that we simply cannot beat these folks that want to blow everything up? Who really believes that? Who really believes that the United States can't do it? We just can't beat them. I mean, we fought World War I and II combined in less time than the war on terror. Give me a break. It's not a war on terror. It's a prolonged profit war. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's a joke, and it's a sad joke because people are dying. Americans are dying, and other people are dying. But I'm going to be dead honest with you. I'll aggravate some more people. I'm more concerned about the Americans dying. I really and truly am. I am an America first kind of guy. But at the same time, you got Obama out there. He's the drone president. You know how many people he killed? You Obama supporters out there? I don't know. All I see is a war for profit footing for well over a decade. I think it's, again, disgusting. And I think that it needs to stop. And I had hoped Trump would stop it, but I don't see that anywhere in sight. Nowhere even close in sight. I'm a huge supporter of the military. I think that it should be used to defend us. What a radical idea that is, right? If we are in need of defending, defend us. We have the best military in the world, most dedicated, most sophisticated, and people that are fighting for something that it's freedom, man. That's what it is. It's freedom. Freedom was always going to win. Freedom will win. You look at some of these people, you're fighting for a communist North Korea. I mean, you're brainwashed maybe, but are you really giving it your all? I don't think so. We have the best military in the world. We have to respect our military people. We have to respect them, not just by making sure they have food every day, making sure they have shelter every day. Not one vet should ever sleep on the street or miss a meal. But we also have to protect them from maniacs that send them all over the world to fight wars that are not designed to be won. Don't you think? I don't know. Makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me at all. We've become like occupiers. To what end? When do we leave? When is it that we leave the Middle East? Why aren't we in Africa? Lots of terrible things going on over there. I know people that post on Facebook. They post all about anarchy. Go to Africa. You can find anarchy all over the place in Africa. Lawless areas. No laws, no governments, no nothing. Go ahead. Go. Enjoy. You ain't going to like it there. You know why? Because it's dictatorship. That's the whole point of the government in the United States and the Constitution. Don't you guys get it? It's to prevent the tyranny of nothing and the tyranny of everything. It gives you a little bit. Everybody wants the government to be everything. Government isn't everything. It's not designed to be everything. It's not your mom. It's not your dad. It's not there to guarantee that your life is a success. It's there to give you an opportunity to succeed in life. What you do with it is up to you. It's up to you. I don't know. Immigration. I'm fine with legal immigration. I think if we need more immigrants in America, we should expand legal avenues. It's my opinion. Not make illegals legal. Being here illegally, in my opinion, means that when we catch up with you, all right, then we would have to take action. And you can't stay. You can't stay if you're here illegally. I don't want squads out there all checking for papers and all that kind of stuff. I'm not looking for that. That's not my goal. And I wouldn't support that, because now you're going to be talking about American citizens, no more than I would support, roadblocks. But if we make contact with illegals, they need to go home. They really do. If we need X amount of immigrants in the United States, then let's bring them here legally. Let us expand the quotas and the allowances for legal citizens to take the pledge and the oath and to become citizens of this country. And then let's let them go and do these jobs that no American will do. Because I know that prior to 25 million illegal aliens in the United States, we didn't eat fruit. I know no one must have eaten fruit, and no lawns got mowed, and no dishes were done. And all these jobs that they say Americans won't do, I guess just didn't get done. The dishes must have been piled up to here in the restaurants. The lawns must have been, just out of control. The whole country must have been in complete disarray. Come on. You believe that? Roadblocks. I'm 110% against roadblocks. 110%. I cannot find any constitutionality to them. I disagree with the Supreme Court. They are your roads. You pay for them, you bought them, and you pay for them over and over and over and over again. They are public, which means they are yours. All right? The cops don't own them. The government don't own them. The people own them. Period. End of discussion. But beyond that, there needs to be due cause. Period. End of discussion. It is clearly outlined not only in, I think, every state constitution, but also in the overall governing constitution of the United States of America. You are guaranteed and provided with due cause. Do you know what due cause means? It means that you can't have roadblocks. The fact that some court that we, want to say, well, the court said this was, well, the court said Obamacare was legal too. They'll okay Trump's plan. They've made a lot of mistakes in the past. They've done some good things as well. But just because the court rules doesn't mean I go, oh, the court has ruled. I must bow to the courts. The court's wrong. That's what it is. I don't give a crap how many degrees and this and that and who what. You don't need to interpret the Constitution. It's all spelled out. There is no interpretation needed whatsoever, not one iota. It doesn't live, it doesn't breathe, it sits as it was. That's what it does. You want to change it, you amend it. There's a process to change it. You don't change it through interpretation. You change it through the vehicle that is provided to us. And unless the majority of states want to decide that due cause should be removed from the Constitution, then there is no way in hell that it is constitutional to be driving along and pulled over to see if you're doing something wrong. It's just not constitutional. The way they went around that, of course, you understand, is that they publish where they're going to be so that you don't have to go that way. Well, what if I don't see the publication? Is that my job now? Well, if you don't have anything to hide, what's the big deal? It could save lives. Yeah, sure it could. Banning guns would save lives too. You want to ban them? I don't. Folks, you can't just give up your rights so that you feel a little safer or that you save a life. And if it costs my life, then that's what it costs. But I would never, as I have said in the past, want my misfortune to be used to curtail anybody else's rights. Roadblocks are terrible. We talked and touched on guns. I 110% support guns. There should be one permit for all 50 states. States don't have the right to impede federally protected rights of Americans, period, end of discussion. A state doesn't have the right, okay, to say that there will not be any, I don't know, you pick a right. Pick a right, freedom of speech. There's no freedom of speech going to be allowed here in Northbridge. You think that Northbridge has the right to say that? There's not going to be any freedom of speech in Massachusetts. There's not going to be freedom of speech in Cambridge. We're not going to allow for due process in Holyoke. And in Worcester, we decided that we're not going to allow voting. We're just going to appoint the people. And you know what's interesting? In Spencer, they're going to send extra representatives to the House of Representatives. Yeah, they're going to send an extra one so they get an extra vote. Because, hey, the Constitution doesn't matter. What's the big deal, right? The state has no say in the Second Amendment. None. It's in the Constitution. That's where it lies. A court may say otherwise, but that doesn't matter because it's not factual. Okay? The Second Amendment gives you the right to own a firearm. There should be one license. James Madison said, lawful citizens. Okay, so you can't be a criminal, and you got to be a citizen of, you guys know the quote? Sound mind. Have the right and duty to own a gun. This is a federal issue, folks. So if you want to have your licenses, and I'm not, I have friends that think there shouldn't even be any licenses, and I understand where they come from, but I'll stick with Madison. It's 2017. There has to be a way to tell these things, and the way that this got into the police chief's hands and into other people's hands and into towns and city councils and stuff like that was because of the local aspect. They know the people, so they know who's okay and who's not and all that kind of stuff. You know what? It's 2017, folks. They don't know nothing. You think that the police chief in Worcester knows everybody in Worcester? No. Come on. So, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I don't feel we happen to live in a town that we're fortunate. Okay, we have a police force that is not a totalitarian kind of a police force. They support your freedoms, and we're very fortunate for that. But I speak for the whole country here. All right, when I say that Chicago has no right to ban guns, New York City has no right to ban guns. Nor do they have a right to say no one can vote. Nor do they have a right to say you don't get due cause, you don't get due process. They don't have those rights. Those are federally guaranteed rights granted to you. I don't see where people miss this. I don't get where the big chasm is. Where is the big gap? I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. All right. Here we got another one. Abortion, none of my damn business. Yeah, I would agree with you, sir. You know, to me, it's just, I get it, right? What about the father? Doesn't the father have rights? And I do. I understand all that stuff. But folks, come on. Let's just be realistic on that issue, right? The woman is going to have to carry this baby. The woman is going to have to deal with this baby for the rest of her life. You, in reality, can send a check and go do whatever you want to do. And your life doesn't really have to be very affected. Okay? Once you have a kid, I don't think fathers have enough rights. That's another whole topic. But before the kid's born, I'm going to let that decision stick with the woman. That's my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. All right. Barnacle's running late. I don't think we'll see him. I'm going to see him right at the end. He's going to be here in about 15 minutes, I think. We got to get to that video there. I have this somewhere up in the end of my notes. Let me get to that right now. Let me really, and then I'll get back to my list. I promise. Let me aggravate some people. Get that video up. Did Trump do a curtsy to the king in the Middle East? I took so much crap on Facebook about this. I loved it. I loved it because you know what it showed me? This is what it showed me, folks. It showed me that a die-hard Trump supporter is just the other side of the coin of a die-hard Obama supporter, which is just the other side of the coin of a die-hard Clinton supporter. It's all the same. You're all the same, folks. You're all the same. You refuse to even see what is right in front of you. You refuse. Oh, but on the gun issue, I want to throw Trump a compliment. He's the only president that I think has been serious about wanting to have a one federal license, 50 states. It's too bad that he hasn't done anything with it, but he has publicly talked about it. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. But he did. He did do a little curtsy. Oh, yes, he did. Why do people blindly defend Trump like so many did Obama? I don't know. I don't get it at all. He clearly bent a knee to the king. Why can't you just say, oh, yeah, that was a stupid move by him. I don't know why he did that. You can't even bring yourself to say it, something. You can't. It's like your arm is going to fall off. If you don't criticize Trump, same thing. Don't criticize Obama. What's the difference? You guys look the same through these eyes. You just look the same, just two different sides, just two different people. You know, I get respecting others, you know, and if you're in Japan, you may bow, and the person may bow back to you. That's what's called a tradition, and it's two people showing respect via a custom. Two people showing respect via a custom. No man should bow to another man in submission. And when you have a king in front of you, and you do a little curtsy, you're submitting to the king. And I'm all choked up. That is what Obama did. That's what Trump did. See, it's like the same freaking thing, man. I'm telling you. But no man should bow to another man in submission, let alone the President of the United States. It should never happen. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. I'll say it as many times over and over and over as I can. So let's play that. Do you want to play that clip? You got that? All right, here we see. There he goes. Over there. There's the little curtsy. See the little curtsy? I'll play it again. Here we go. Here's the back. Thing. Oh, there's his little curtsy. Look at slow motion. Ready? Down and up. Yes, I will bow to the king of the oil because we must bow to the king. So you know he was told he had to do that. And you know he didn't like the idea. And I love that about Trump. He did the littlest, weakest, lamest little bow he could do. But folks, The guy bent his knee, and that's what he did. He caved in and he bent his knee. That's not being respectful, okay? That's bowing to a king like all subjects are supposed to do. That's what he did. Play it one more time. You got it still there? Play it one more time. You got it? All right. He was signing us off. There he goes. Ready? Here we go. And the curtsy. Let's see it. Let's see it again. Let's see it again. And the curtsy. And let's slow it down. Down he goes and up he comes. Folks, that's what it is. Do you disagree with me? Because I couldn't have taken any more crap on Facebook about this. And I knew it when I posted it. I said, this is going to be great. All these Trump supporters are going to come out, and they are going to kill me. I mean, they're going to beat me up something fierce. They're going to say all kinds of things. They're going to say things like, no, he didn't, and you're overreacting, and you're reading too much into it. It's funny. It's the same crap I heard about Obama. Same crap. Oh. Hang on, I got an email coming in. Gary, I just tuned in. Can you play that one more time? I was one of the people giving you crap on Facebook, but when I just saw it, I hate to say maybe you are right. Play it again, Sam. Can we play one more? One more and I'll leave you alone. Here we go. Ready? Here you go. There's the curtsy. You see it? All right? Some people said to me he was just bending over to get his thing. Well, he already did. There it was. That was a great shot of it, that second shot. And he goes down and he comes up. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He is bowing to the king, the President of the United States of America, for the second administration in a row. One very overt, who was very happy to bow down. I don't deny that. Obama was a scumbag, in my opinion, okay? Plain and simple. Not a fan. I am far more a fan of Trump than I am Obama than Clinton. But, folks, the guy was wrong. Just deal with it. Can you just deal with it and just say he was wrong? That's it. Didn't have to be a big thing. I told one of my friends that'll remain nameless, doesn't like to get into the public politicking. I said, wait till I post this and watch what the comments are. And he followed the post. He's texted me left and right. Gary, I can't believe this. It's just crazy. It's crazy. All right. Constitutionality in America. We're so off course. It is so sad. We need to return to the intent of the United States of America. It's not crazy or on the fringe to want to live as the country was destined and designed to be. That's not on the fringe. Those trying to stop that, in my opinion, are the ones that are on the fringe. That's the fringe. That's the fringe. How is it that a guy that lives in America that says, I want to live by the Constitution, is considered a fringe person, a theorist, maybe a conspiracy guy? They'll call you all kinds of names. Oh, boy. Trade deals. Let's see. Most in place today stink. The Trans-Pacific, NAFTA, they don't favor America. There's nothing America first about those. I love what Trump's trying to do to those. All the power to you, Donald. Dismantle those things, man. Make them favor the United States. I'm all with you. I'm all with you. All right, the environment. All right. Oh, this is another one. This is like a now become a religion. You realize that, don't you? It's all, politics is like a religion. It's like people have this blind faith, and no matter who their guy is, that's it. I have blind faith. They can't do anything wrong. And people have blind faith in this climate stuff. Can we impact the climate? Well, sure we can impact the climate. Of course we can. We can dirty rivers. We can dump stuff. We can do terrible things to Earth. Should we? No. Should there be regulations that would prohibit this from happening, from Company X just dumping waste into the river around the corner here? Absolutely not. You should not be allowed to do that. That should be against the law, and you should be punished if something like that happens. But we don't really know what the climate is supposed to be. We think we do, All right, because we look at things and ice and layers and all this stuff, and we've got theories, and we've designed these theories, and we bank on them. And you know what? Some of them are pretty good theories, right? They seem to pan out. Others, they don't. They don't seem to pan out at all. Um, like we don't know what the temperature on Earth is really supposed to be. We don't. We just know what it is and what it's been, and through our lens, we think we know what it's supposed to be, but we have no idea if the temps go up and down every 100,000 years or so. We think we do. We think we do, but we don't. Dinosaurs are extinct because of what? Okay, look that up and go find how many theories you can find on why dinosaurs are extinct. Now, we will all come back to the one theory that we all believe, but we don't know. We think we know. Well, what do you mean, Gary? I mean, we think we do know this. Well, we think we know everything, just like every generation thinks they know everything. Every generation does. When I was a kid, Pluto was a planet. When I was a kid, the universe was only as big as Pluto. That was it. That was the universe. It's not so. We've learned now that the universe is gabillions of more light years. Bigger and bigger and bigger. You got to remember that the Earth was flat. That was settled science. Settled. Earth was flat. Settled science. The sun went around the world. That was done. Bloodletting. Remember bloodletting? Well, you don't remember it, but you remember reading about it. That was an accepted medical procedure, and we were told as human beings that cured things. Think about that. The most unsettled things in the world is what, we don't really know what settled science is because it's never settled. The facts seem to change, and they're supposed to because it's an evolution called education. So we don't really know. Eggs were bad for you when I was a kid. When I was a kid, you couldn't eat. Couldn't eat too many eggs. You too much cholesterol, right? Nah, they're really good for you. Enjoy your omelet. Have you ever seen the Woody Allen movie Sleepers? Or Sleeper? Have you seen that movie? Go watch that movie. It's pretty funny. Not a fan of Woody Allen, though. I'm not going to lie to you. He's not one of my faves. I'm sorry. We should be responsible to the planet for sure. We should have regulation and laws that protect the environment. It's obvious. But we have way too many feel-good things going on with no results. Those light bulbs that we are all forced to use, do you know that and the solar panels? I have now learned through science that they're toxic to the landfills. Yeah, no good. Those aren't going to be any good. We're going to really screw ourselves pretty good when we start throwing those away en masse. But we're told that they would help, so we had an entire industry go out of business and reform what they're doing, and then gave away all these light bulbs for free. You do know that these light bulbs were given to companies for nothing, right? You get that? Those new ones, when they first came out, and probably still today, not as much, but when they first came out, free. Two companies that sold them to you. How do you think they were free? The government paid for them. Oh, you paid for them. You gave them to the company, and then the company charged you for them. A discounted rate, of course. I mean, people, come on. Oh, Al Gore, right? Flies on huge planes. He owns several homes. I'm sure the heat and the AC is nicely climate controlled when he comes in. Has lots of cars. And in the end, has a huge carbon footprint. Huge carbon footprint out of him, especially compared to me. But he's a Democrat. And the religion of climate change means that he can do what he wants. And you will do what he says. Also, they live like this in Hollywood as well. A lot of these elites, these real lefties out there will tell you what you should do. But in reality, everything they're against, they do. Everything they're against, they seem to do. They live this life in total contrast of what they tell you to live. Because they're important people. Don't you understand? They're important. They act for a living. Oh boy, I guess we can cover states' rights for a second here. I fully support them, except when they infringe on freedoms that states do not have the right to infringe upon. Guns would be a great example of that, but many others do exist. On the flip side, the state has more discretion than the feds as intended, and that is fine with me. I support federal government that is not totally involved with my life. That's what I want, because that's what I'm supposed to have in the United States of America. I was going to talk about the legalization of marijuana. I'm going to hopefully do that next week when I have a little more time with my friend Jim. I know he's around, but I don't have any time to bring you on, Jimmy. Let's do this real quick. We got, what, 7 seconds. Let's see the curtsy one more time, and then we'll go into our closing. I'll see you next week. I'm Gary on the Freedom Network.